When he comes in, he's just kind of talking to the rest of the group. He immediately notices all the mages there, and he's been friends with Scanny and Fenpole for a while now, and he's just chatting away, and everybody's really interested in this character, and he has something to tell Steven, and he hints that he's being haunted, which Steven already knows because he can see freaking ghosts. He actually knows that there's a ghost around him, and that's actually what makes him a really good detective, because he can talk to the ghost and be like, "Hey, what happened at this crime scene?" And the ghost goes and is just like, "Hey, dude got stabbed. Cool." So essentially, anyway, back to Abel and Joe. They're back in the back. And Joe's showing him, all of his magic tricks, and Abel, who has never seen anything like this, is like, "Oh my God, what are you?" And demons are actually, it's called Demon the Fallen because you're technically playing a fallen angel. Now, Joe was playing a very nice character who fell from heaven, followed Lucifer and everything like that, and I think was trying to redeem himself. Goddamn watch beeping. Was trying to redeem himself. Well, he needed faith, so he showed Abel his angelic form. And Abel was like, "Oh my God, you're an angel. You are the best thing in the world. I'm going to worship you." And now Joe has faith. And that's actually where the first game ended. Was just kind of like these introductions to characters and just trying to figure out things. And then the next game actually picked up Joe, look at that. I'm out of beer. Hey guys, Lightning McGilicutty back here with another mug of beer, and just repacked my hookah. So anyway, where were we? I believe that I had just kind of finished up the first game there. The little pre-planned thing that we had done. Well, not pre-planned, the just kind of like pickup game. So, the reason I was kind of like introducing you to like all these characters is because it's easier for me to just tell you guys who they are right off the beginning, so then I can just get right into the story. So anyway, so the story picks up pretty much moments later, with this big black like SUV pulling up next to the Treehouse Cafe, and out step these three guys, pretty much in trench coats, wearing sunglasses, pretty much generic like essentially like trench coat mafia kind of guys. So anyway, Ferox introduces them as the Sanders triplets, which none of them look like they're the same age. One of them's ridiculously tall. Another one's like super short, and another one's in the middle. All of them have different toned hairs. One of them's, as far as anyone can tell, is completely blind. But he introduces them as Alex, Sean, and Tom. They used to travel with Ferox until a really bad accident happened, which I'll get into that a little bit later. They take more of a center stage as far as NPCs go. A little bit later on, but they're just kind of like there for shits and giggles at this point. Um, at this point, the night is essentially young, and we've gotten some of our other players there. Maggie's finally showed up. Fix-It showed up, and a lot of people are going to go out to the club at this point. Well, Maggie has promoted this kind of country blues grass band kind of thing that's headed by I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the band. But it's essentially a band that is composed all of werewolves, which is ridiculous because werewolves hate vampires. But these guys are kind of willing to give it a shot because it's a gig. So Maggie has come into the treehouse and was like, "Hey, guys, I got this really great thing going on here. I'll give you some tickets because you guys are kind of cool." Like, kind of like hands them over to the vampires that are hanging around. At this point, I think it's just Gimpy and Fix-It. Buckshot still hasn't shown up. She doesn't show up until the very next game. I think that her player was actually sitting in on this game. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure that Buckshot's going to make some kind of video and yell at me about this. But this is how I remember it, and that's the important part. So anyway, the day's going by, and, well, I mean, the day has already gone by. It's now nighttime, and the entire time, I forgot to mention this, and I don't know why. The entire time before everybody actually got to the treehouse, they've been seeing a lot of sick people along their way, like just really just coughing up blood, just a lot of people. And Abel and Joe, I believe, had seen a bit of writing on the wall that was talking about the apocalypse. I mean, woo, 2012, the apocalypse, what a surprise. There's going to be some kind of big thing going on. So they're seeing all this, and it's whatever. So I want to say that Nicholas and Alexei go to the club. Abel and Joe are still talking and like trying to figure out what the hell's going on with their faith and whatever. Steven heads off to go do his things. He got a call on the police radio that they needed him, and he goes to investigate a murder. I believe Alexei follows him. A lot of the stuff for the first game's a little bit vague, just because the group gets together, the group splits up. I mean, it kind of happens that way, and it's also like 2 years ago at this point, so it's a little bit vague in my mind. So right now, I'm just kind of giving you guys the cliff notes. Once it all starts coming together, I get really I know all the freaking details. Like this was essentially the mod that gets the group together. This is the tower that the adventurers go and explore because the townspeople ask them to, as far as like D&D terms go. But oh right, before that everybody leaves, the twins, Scanny and Fenpole, they make mention that they have essentially out in the marsh an apocalypse bunker. I'm not even shitting you. They call it the apocalypse bunker. They say if you're supernatural, you are welcome to this bunker at any time if you think that the world's going to end, or if shit's going down and you need a place to hide. Because we're that kind of cool, and we want to help out all the supernaturals, not just the mages. Now, as the day goes on, the werewolf band and everything is playing their little gig and everything, and stuff's just kind of happening. I believe it was actually Alexei and Fix-It that went. Alexei, Fix-It, and Gimpy, because Gimpy doesn't like blues. Because, I don't know. So it's Maggie and Nicholas in the club. And they're having a grand old time because this band's really good. I mean, for werewolves, they know how to play the blues. Freaking Joe and Abel eventually meet up with Steven. Ferox and the Trenchcoat Mafia essentially just kind of vanish because there wasn't really a whole lot for them to do at this point that needed to be done. But they go with Steven, and the man who's been murdered has been like mauled to death, like bite marks and claw marks and stuff like that, but not consistent with an animal of any kind, not even with a werewolf or a vampire that turned into a wolf, whatever. What's consistent with it is human markings, very, very zombie apocalypse-like, which is pretty much almost exactly the way that this is going. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. In the meantime, the club is playing the blues, and then Nicholas, I believe, was supposed to go up and start singing, but something happens. One of the patrons gets out of hand and starts biting people and mauling them and just freaking the hell out. So what does Nicholas do? What does Maggie do? They both died behind the bar because both of them are kind of... They're not really super combat-oriented characters. So, you know, especially Maggie. Maggie is just like, what's going on? This is my club. Jump behind the bar.